What is up, my nerds? It is me, Marisa Mohi, and welcome to my channel, and today I am introducing you to the 90-day novel planner. Okay, so this is something that I've hinted about a lot on Instagram and a little bit on Twitter, but this is something that I've been working on for the past 2 months, and I'm super excited to show it off to you. So, for a little bit of background before we get into it, I'm going to try not to talk too much, but there's 2 things that I wanted to let you know before we get into it. One is that I took a class called Publish with Purpose with Sarah Steckler of the Mindful Productivity blog. She's really well known for a lot of the journals and planners that she creates, and she has an entire course dedicated to show you how to create a well-designed planner because, I think that there's a lot of people out there that just throw something up on Amazon and, hope that it's a good source of passive income, and that's fine. If that's your business model, go for it. I wanted something that was well-designed and useful and something that people would be proud to own, and also something that I could price at a good price point so that I didn't have to keep creating a ton of garbage that I could only keep at such a low price point that I never made any money off of it. So that is why I took that course. This is the first project that I created with that course, and I'm super excited to show you future projects because there's a lot coming up. And so that's how this came to be. And then the second thing that I wanted to let you know is, I'm a nail biter. It is what it is, okay? So don't let me know in the comments. Also, if you're going to be one of those people that suggests that I get that, stuff you paint on your nails that makes them taste bad, yes, I've tried it. I mean, I'm 34 years old. One of my first conscious memories is of my parents telling me not to bite my nails. It's what I do, okay? It's one of my self-soothing anxiety activities, so leave me alone. Anyway, okay, so with that, let's go ahead and get into this 90-day novel planner. Okay, let's clean up this space a little bit just so we have some room. So I've got some stickers and pens because I'm going to show you, ways that you can use different parts of this planner.
You shall not pass unless you enter the giveaway for a 90-day novel planner on marisamohi.com. Link in the description box below.
So on the front, we have the composition notebook pattern, which I was super excited about. And it looks really cool. I got to design this cover myself. Super proud of it. Look at it. Anyway, so you open it up. This novel planner belongs to, who does it belong to? You go ahead and put your name there. Then we've got some information, about what's included in this planner. All sorts of stuff, my little welcome note, additional resources for you to use, and then we get into the pre-writing section. And so the reason why this planner is designed the way it is because it's 1 part planner and 1 part tracker. And I wanted to create something that would not only make it easier for you during the writing process, but also for the editing process. And so I have a bunch of stuff in here that is going to give you at-a-glance information about your novel, and that's going to make it a lot easier for you when you have to go back and find different things. So we have a quote here. There's some quotes here and there throughout. We have the pre-writing section. So this is how you use the pre-writing section. Everything comes with directions. We have the title brainstorming pages. And the reason why I gave 2 full pages for this is just because I know that I go through with every project I've ever worked on at least 64,973 potential titles. And so I wanted to give you some space to track all of those. Then we have the working elevator pitch, and throughout your process, we've got the genres that it might belong to. We've got our ideal reader profile. All of these things are marketing related, but those are things that you have to think about throughout the process. We have the character sketch section, but before we get into that, we have the character master list. And so this is a place where you list the characters and what chapters they appear in. And you do that so that when you edit, you know where you can go find specific scenes with that character. I know that in my writing process, there have been a lot of times when I will change a character's name halfway through and I have to go through and find all of those instances where I did that. And this really helps me because then I can find the names. Yes, you can use find and replace. That's fine. You can always do that, but this is a good way to know exactly where everything always is. Okay, so we have the protagonist character sketch sheets, the antagonist character sketch sheets, and then some sketch sheets that are a little simpler. We don't need to know that much about primary characters. So we've got some for primary, some for secondary characters because your novel probably has a lot of people. And then we get into the settings section. So again, we have a settings master list, so you can remember every time a specific setting appears. So if you have like a bowling alley or the haunted moors or, you know, like whatever it is, you list it where it goes and you list what it is and then you put it whichever chapters it appears with. And so here's where you can outline your settings. Lots of setting information here. Then we get into the mood board, so super excited for that. And here is just where you can paste in images. So I've given you some potential image sizes. You don't have to use that. You're a grown-up. You live your life. And so you can post in images that make sense for your story, whether you got them from Pinterest or from unsplash.com or, you know, like whatever. But if you like to draw, maybe you could draw little things in these boxes. Completely up to you. So this is just a place for you to put that information. We have some dot grid pages just for you to like write down anything you need in between the sections. Now we have the actual outlining. So here's a spot to outline all of the plot points throughout the 3-act structure, okay? But also, I give you a chapter outline, and that's so that you can figure out where all of those major story beats fall throughout the chapters of your novel. I'll be real, I only gave you room for 30 chapters. If you are a longer writer, don't worry about it though. You got some dot grid pages where you can add some other stuff, okay? But that is the end of the pre-writing section, so that's a pretty hefty chunk of the novel. The pre-writing portion isn't necessarily for the 90 days. So as it's called the 90-day novel planner, the drafting portion is for the 90 days, and let me show you all about that. So this first half is all about planning out your novel, figuring out what you're going to say, making your characters super clear so that they can drive the plot and they're not just, you know, like marionette puppets being driven around by the whims of a crazy writer. And then we have the drafting section. So this is where a lot of the tracking of writing actually comes into play. So I've got a lot of explanation here for how to use different things. First, we have the visual progress tracker. So each time you finish a chapter, you can color it in. If you wanted to, you know, use a sticker, you could put a sticker on each one. Completely up to you. It depends on the supplies you have, what you like to use. I could see like washi tape being really fun to use in this because I've given you some pretty big borders, and so you can use washi tape to like mark those different sections, and I think that it would be a lot of fun, especially if you're like a planner nerd like me, just to use a lot of the things in here, make it as colorful as you want. That's why I went with the bright white pages, just so, you know, you could do it upright, really. So we have this visual progress tracker here. Again, only 30 chapters listed, but there are all these other boxes here. So if you have more chapters, you can add them. Or if there's something else you want to be tracking and filling in, you know, like maybe each one of these is 5,000 words or 1,000 words, or, you know, whatever the particular thing you're looking for, you could fill those in for that. You could use this as another mood board page. You could paste in anything that you wanted. I wanted to give you the option of using this however it's going to work best for you. So this is the visual progress tracker. So you could, again, color it in, tape it over, use a sticker, whatever works for you. Then the next page, we get into our first monthly spread. And so this is the daily word tracker. So on this calendar, you can write in the date. You can use, you know, like some date stickers. These are from an Erin Condren pack. I'm not really an Erin Condren girl. I was probably about 6 or 7 years ago, I guess. But I got these from a friend, so these are great to use for this purpose. So you can put in the date in this box right here. And then on each day, you can write the goal of what you want to hit and the actual for that day. And then as you get to the end of the week, then you write in the total words. So this is one of the monthly spreads. There's 3 of these because 90-day novel planner. So this is the first one where you put in the dates, you write down your goal and what you actually got for that day. And it's a great way to visualize and track and see how you're doing on that particular novel. Then, my friends, we have a habit tracker and a sprint tracker. So with this habit tracker here, there I gave you 2 specific habits that I think writers absolutely need, but then I gave you some space for other things. And so this first one is write. Obviously, that's an important habit to have. So if you happen to write that day, then you get to X it off. You can fill it in with a sticker. You can use washi tape, whatever you want. And then every time you back up your novel, you go ahead and mark it there too. And so the reason that I have that there is because my computer has died several times. If you look at a lot of my content from last year in the beginning of 2019, there was a lot of me talking about how irritated at my computer I was, but because I had backed up everything, like I was okay and I could, get it fixed. But just remembering to back up your novel, not necessarily like every day, but I do it every day and I do it in 2 places. So, yeah, so I put that there so you know when the last time you backed it up is, especially if you lose some stuff. But you could fill in other habits that you want to associate with your writing too. So if you're trying to build up your ability to write a lot, maybe you have like a 5,000 word thing here and you mark every time you hit 5,000 words. That'd be kind of cool. Or, maybe you are trying to kick some bad habits that you have as a writer. So for example, I have a lot of friends who eat candy while they write. It's like the thing that keeps them going. And I have a friend who actually goes to like Sam's Club or Costco and gets like the industrial M&Ms and just keeps them on their desk. And something they're trying to do is do writing sessions without eating sugar. And so you could do like a no sugar day and mark all the days that you didn't eat sugar. So whatever habits you need to track, just, put them in here. But these are the 2 most important ones. So you can mark every day that you wrote and every time that you backed up your novel. And so the sprint tracker has a very similar shape because it's basically, the same table, but instead you write down the times here. And so for me, I know that I like to start off with 10 minutes, do 20, 20, 20, 20, and then I end with 10. But you can do whatever time you like. So if you like to start with 5 minutes and then do 10, whatever. So this gives you some time to do some sprints every day. And then here you just write down the words that you got. So that way you know how much time it took you to get a certain amount of words, and that will help you know how fast you're writing, and it will show, your increase over time. So this is a really cool spread, and I'm super excited about it. And then the last portion of this particular section is the daily writing journal. So how many times have you been writing and you have a day that is really good, really amazing, and you're super proud of yourself for all the things that you were able to do? Mark it here. Write down the conditions that made that possible. So day 1, I would just write in the date because not everybody's going to start this on the 1st of the month, and it's totally cool if you don't. So if you're starting this, today, what is today? December 4th? I don't know. Anyway, day, Wednesday is December 4th. Then you can write this in and talk about how your particular writing session went. You can also write about notes that you need to keep track of, like maybe I need to add in a scene in this particular chapter about how these 2 characters met. Or this is the spot where I stopped calling this character this name and I've changed it so I know I need to go back. So this is just a place for you to write notes about what it is that you have been doing as a writer throughout that process. And so the cool thing is that I give you a little half-page space for every day. You don't have to fill it out. If you just want to put a bulleted list here so you know things that you need to go back and check, that's totally fine. But this way you don't spend a ton of time writing about writing when you should just be writing, So you get all of these pages for each month, and there's 31 for each. And then we've got some dot grid pages, another quote, and then we get into our next daily word tracker, and it has the same exact structure for the second month. And then we have the last month. So it is a 90-day novel tracker. So it gives you 90 days to write that novel. I am pretty excited about it. I'm excited to use it. I'm excited to fill it in, and I cannot wait to get started with this.
Don't forget to enter the giveaway, Frodo. Link below.
Alrighty, my nerds, before I let you go, I just wanted to say one thing. You probably noticed that I didn't do any updates about NaNoWriMo, and it's because I definitely failed this year. There's just too much going on with the day job, too much going on with the side hustle, too much going on with, like, the second day job that I've picked up somehow. Anyway, not important. But the reason why I think NaNoWriMo can be fun is because it's fun to push yourself, but I don't think that 50,000 words a month is always possible. So if you have life events, if you have work events, if there's a lot of stuff you're balancing, it's okay if you don't win NaNoWriMo. And because of that, I really wanted to create a planner that lets you slow down the pace of writing a little bit, just because I know for me, I'm a much better writer when I'm taking my time, and I can get words out quickly. I've worked professionally as a writer for a long time, and there is a great story about me in grad school writing a 20-page paper, researching it, and writing it in the span of 8 hours. And I would never want to do that again, but I think that I've just reached a time in my life where I want to slow down and enjoy writing and write at my pace, not anybody else's. And so for that reason, I created this 90-day novel planner because I think it can seem really daunting if you think about writing a novel throughout the course of many years. But 90 days feels really doable to me, and it's not as daunting as, say, 30 days. And so I know NaNoWriMo asks for 50,000 words, which is a little bit shorter than the average novel, but with this, even if your novel is 90,000 words, you only have to hit 1,000 words a day. If your novel is 75,000 words, then it's less than 1,000 words a day, or you could even have time for some days off. So that was the idea behind this planner. If you are interested in purchasing this bad boy, it is currently for sale up on Amazon. I'll have it linked down below. Also, down below, I will have a blog post all about this and how I created it. So, check that description box. Check it out. So, this guy's for sale. You are welcome to purchase it. I would love it if you did. If you do purchase it, make sure you tag me on Twitter and Instagram. I am at the Marisa Mohi. Again, social media is all linked down below. So, if you do get it, tag me. Let me know how you like it. I'm super happy that I get to share this with you today, and I'm super excited to hear how you guys use it. So, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.